Hi, my name is Ed Shanshala. I'm the CEO of Amanuset Community Health Services. At ACHS, we realize you do not need to be a French bistro chef to prep and serve meals that you feel good about. That's why our Food is Medicine program is designed that from 30 minutes prep to plate, you too can serve nutritious meals.
My name is Mina Flato, and I'm the Teaching Kitchen Instructor for Amanuset Community Health Services Food is Medicine program. I was a teacher for 20 years before this, and one of the biggest focuses in my classroom was that food doesn't have to have morality. Food is really not about good and bad, it's about nutrient dense and non-nutrient dense. And here at Amanuset Community Health Services, that's our focus with this program. We want to help you get your food prepped to plate in 30 minutes or less. So we're going to make a yogurt parfait. So the formula that I'm going to show you here is really customizable. We're going to use Greek yogurt today, but it doesn't have to be Greek yogurt. It can be if you make your own homemade yogurt, or if you'd like to learn how, we actually have a video where you can learn about that as part of the Food is Medicine program. But really it can be any type of yogurt that you like. We're going to use plain today. Could be flavored. Just keep in mind that when you go with flavored yogurts, sometimes that flavor happens with a lot of extra added sugar. So something to be considerate of. But today we're going to start with some Greek yogurt. So we're going to use a mason jar. I like this because you can make a bunch of them and store them in the fridge, and then you've got breakfast for the next few days. You really don't want to store them for more than 3 days because food safety starts to get a little sketchy at that point. So the trickiest thing about this is doing it so it actually looks nice. So we'll see if I'm lucky today and if I can make it look nice in the jar. So the recipe calls for a cup of Greek yogurt, but this is one of those measure with your heart kind of moments. So it doesn't have to be exactly a cup. So we've got our first layer, and I just give it a little tap on the table to kind of level it out. Perfect. So next we're going to add in our granola. So we're using a low sugar granola, which is actually kind of tricky to find. So you can always make your own granola with oats and whatever other add-ins you would like if you're concerned about your sugar intake. But this is a pre-made low sugar granola. So we're just going to add a sprinkle of it. We want enough to cover the yogurt. Just going to kind of shake it around. I'm going to put a little bit more in there because I like a little more crunch in my parfait. And if you are a person who wants your parfait to be crunchier, you probably don't want to put the granola in when you store it in the fridge. You could put your fruit in, but maybe add your granola after. So at this point, we are now going to add some frozen raspberries. I'm going with frozen because right now raspberries aren't in season. If fruit is in season, you can do any type of fruit that is something that you like to get fresh, or you can go with frozen. It's a good alternative. So we're going to add a little bit of frozen fruit. And raspberries will defrost pretty quickly. They don't stay frozen for very long. And then we're just going to repeat the process. So we're going to add a little more yogurt on top. There I go, being messy, like I said. Doesn't have to be pretty to be delicious. Push that down in there. Add a little bit more of our granola right on the top. That looks pretty good. And a little bit more frozen raspberries. They're already starting to defrost right now, so it won't be very long until they're perfect. Ooh, look at that. Right to the top. Nice. So at this point, you could be all set and ready to go, but we're going to boost the nutritional content a little bit by adding some chia seeds. Chia seeds are a great source of fiber, especially in their raw state like this. Just sprinkle these on the top. They also add some nice crunch. And then, last but not least, a little natural sweetener. So you could do this with maple syrup. I'm going to do it with honey today. Just a little drizzle on the top. And if you were going to store this, you would just pop the lid right on top and put it in the fridge, or you could just enjoy it right straight up. So a nice, delicious yogurt parfait.